What's going on, everybody? This is Brian Mazique, aka Unique Mazique, the hardest working man in sports and gaming, and I'm back with another episode of Ask Mazique. And if you want to participate, you want to get your question in, make sure you go on Twitter, use the hashtag Ask Mazique at Unique Mazique, and shoot me your question: baseball, basketball, football, MMA, boxing, wrestling, video games, sports video games, non-sports video games, whatever. Shoot it to me. This time, the question comes from my man, AJ Taylor, AJ starting five. He said, who is your surprise NBA team so far, and who is your most disappointing team? All right, that one actually is not that difficult for me to come up with. Just pretty much off the top of my head, I can tell you the most surprising team easily for me is the Los Angeles Clippers. Like, as of my recording of this particular answer, the Clippers were tied for the best record in the Western Conference with the Denver Nuggets, and the Denver Nuggets just surged up there because they won 6 games in a row. The Clippers are 16-7 right now, okay, and playing outstanding basketball. They won 8 of their last 10. They are 9-1 at home, 7-6 on the road. They're 3-0 in the division, 11-5 in the conference. They are averaging 117 points a game. I mean, this team is playing crazy. And if you were to like just take a look at their roster, right, and you just go up and down, you just off name recognition, you probably ask yourself, like, why is this team so good? Like, what is going on? Why are they so good? I mean, you're starting Patrick Beverly at the point, which is obviously a very good defensive player and a pretty decent outside shooter. But, you know, you don't think spectacular, right? You got the nice rookie Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who I think has a lot of upside. You got Danilo Gallinari. Tobias Harris is playing insane. I mean, Tobias Harris is averaging like 24 a game, shooting 42% from three-point range, eight boards. I mean, it's something crazy. 21 a game, I'm sorry. It's insane. And then you got Boban Marjanovic in the middle. But then I think one of the biggest things about this team is their bench. Their bench is insanely deep with Milos Teodosic, Lou Williams, Avery Bradley, Luke Richard and Bahamute, Mike Scott, and Montrezl Harrell. Montrezl Harrell, I think, telling you, man, that dude has a chance, I think. Now, Bahamute's out, but he's only hurt right now. But if you look at Harrell, I think he has he might not get it because he doesn't start, but he plays big minutes, and he's averaging 16.5 points a game, 7 rebounds. I would really give him a serious look as a potential Defensive Player of the Year candidate. I think he's playing that good. And if you really want to break down and look at why the Clippers are playing as well as they are, it's really, I know they're giving up 112 points a game, which is kind of a lot. But defensively, man, this team has some really good defenders. And I think it all starts there. But then another part of it is the balance in their scoring. They have 5 players averaging double figures on their team right now. They have 7 players averaging at least 7 points a game. They got balance, guys. They got balance all over the place. Tobias, like I said, leading them. Gallinari second off the bench. Lou Williams. Harrell's averaging 16.5. You got the rookie averaging 10.6. And then if you look at their shooting as a team, this team is shooting 38% from the three-point line, 80% from the line. This is a group of outstanding shooters in a team, in a league where shooting is premium. And that and the defense is how they're doing what they're doing. And I'm telling you, they are my most surprising team. I don't think that they are. I wouldn't give them that they're a legitimate contender in the postseason just yet. They got to do a little bit more, prove a little bit more to me before I go that far. But right about now, man, you got to love what they're doing. If I was to tell you who my most disappointing team is, now this one's a little difficult, kind of hard to say. There's some candidates out there. You can look at the Boston Celtics, who I think are definitely underachieving. The Washington Wizards, you got to look at as a potential underachiever. The Trailblazers have fallen off. But if I got to go with one, I got to go with the San Antonio Spurs. I mean, the Spurs, are you realizing right now, as of me recording this, the Spurs are in the next to last spot in the Western Conference right now. They have an 11-13 record. I don't have it in front of me, but I would love to see, when was the last time in December, the San Antonio Spurs had a losing record. I mean, just on Monday night, or was it Tuesday night, they got blown out by 34 points on the road against the Jazz. I mean, and blowouts have happened a lot. They lost 128 to 89 on the road against the Timberwolves. They lost by 31 at home against the Rockets. This team is in a tailspin, and I would have to say, man, if their coach's name wasn't Greg Popovich, would we not be talking about a potential coach on a hot seat? Like, obviously, it seems like Popovich might be immune to that kind of talk, but this team is struggling really bad. I mean, DeMar DeRozan, I guess you'd have to say he's doing everything he can do. He's leading the team in scoring, assists, and steals. LaMarcus Aldridge is leading them in rebounding and blocks. They're 1 and 2 in scoring, but I don't know what it is. I mean, Rudy Gay's averaging 12.8. Bryn Forbes is at 12.1. Patty Mills at just under 10. It's got to be the defense, though. If you look at some of the numbers that this team is giving up on defense, it's bad. They're only actually giving up about 5 points more per game, 0.5 points more per game actually than the Clippers, and they're clearly not scoring as much, scoring about 109 a game. But it's defensively, especially of late, right? Especially of late, they have looked dreadful on defense. Take a listen to the amount of points this team has given up just in the last 4 games. And I know teams are scoring a lot this year, but this is even above these averages. 139 on Tuesday against the Jazz. The game before that, in a win, they gave up 118 to the Blazers. The game before that, they gave up 136 to the Rockets. The game before that, they gave up 128 to the Timberwolves. I mean, so the game before that, they had a little bit of a break because they got 120. They gave up 107 in a win over the Bulls. But then before that, they'd given up 135 to the Bucks. When is the last time you heard a Spurs team giving up that many points? Like, this is something that this team has really hung their hats on for years, is their defense, and it's clearly not there. So a lot of people might say, well, is it Kawhi? Is it missing Kawhi? I do think missing Kawhi has something to do with it, but it's not the end all. It's not everything, because Kawhi missed a lot of time last year, and this team didn't look like it looks now. So I don't know what's going on exactly with the Spurs. There's clearly a transition taking place, but this has to be considered a low point for this franchise, maybe in the last, 20, maybe 15 years at least? At least 15 years. I mean, at this point, you have to say, right, that the Spurs are looking like a team that is going to miss the playoffs. I'd say that's pretty. I mean, the Western Conference is pretty tight, so things can change pretty fast. But it's not looking good, guys. It's really not looking good. When is the last time that the Spurs missed the postseason? I mean, they haven't missed the postseason since Greg Popovich took over for Brian Hill in the 96-97 season. That's the last time they missed the postseason. They have gone every single season since then, won 4 championships. This is all in Popovich's era. They got bounced into the first round last year. They haven't really even had a ton of first round exits. They've only lost in the first round over all of those years 5 times. Been to the finals, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times in that time. It's been an outstanding run, but you gotta wonder, is that run just about over for the Spurs? So clearly and easily, they are my most disappointing team. That's all I got for you guys today. I appreciate you watching as always. Like I said, if you do want to be involved, you want to get a question in on Twitter, at Unique Mazique, using the hashtag AskMazique. Get those questions in. Sports and gaming, I'm all about it. Appreciate you watching. Like I said, God bless and peace.
pocket, I'll be weak. I'm rather unique.